Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Southwest Licking Local Board of Education meeting to order. I would like to welcome all of our visitors at home, but also I'd like to welcome everyone here. It's nice to see such a full house tonight, and we have some special guests tonight who are going to help us with the pledge and maybe some other special stuff as well. So, if you'd all like to please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you all. And I'd like for Mr. Jones to please call the roll.
Mrs. Engel.
Here.
Mrs. Moore.
Here.
Mrs. Spindler.
Here.
Mr. Zani. Mr. Vincent.
Here, a quorum is present. We shall continue public participation. There is no one signed up, so we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda.
So moved. Second?
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, the agenda has been adopted. We will move on to presentations. First, I'd like to welcome Asher Kellett for the Warrior mascot presentation. I love the suit, by the way, dude.
My name is Asher Kellett, and I have made a presentation on why the Watkins Warriors should bring back a mascot. About me. My name is Asher Kellett, and I am a 12-year-old student attending Watkins Middle School in 7th grade. I have attended Southwest Licking schools my whole educational career. My mom and dad both graduated from Watkins. I have two brothers who also went to Watkins. My parents have strong ties to the school and community. My mom is a teacher in this district. Who is our original mascot? Many years ago, Willie was our mascot for sporting events, but unfortunately, this decision was made for Willie the Warrior to stop coming to our sporting events. I have heard stories about Willie the Warrior coming to sporting events from my parents. Wherever Willie the Warrior was, people were happy. Why should Willie the Warrior or a Warrior mascot come back? Willie was a key part of our sporting events. He would build enthusiasm and make the crowd happier than ever. He would celebrate every score and make the people feel it. Why would it benefit Watkins? Reinstating Willie the Warrior or a Warrior mascot could have a list of benefits to the community. First of all, a Warrior mascot can make the community more excited to go to sporting events. Second of all, having a school mascot could bring energy and spirit back to events. Third of all, a mascot could make more people come to sporting events and making the school more revenue. Survey results. This is for Watkins Middle School. So in the blue, we have people who want a mascot back. Red is no, and yellow is maybe. So we have 80% of people who want a mascot back at Watkins Middle School, 14.5% don't want a mascot back, and then there's a little sliver of people who just don't want a mascot at all. And then we also put a second question that said, what kind of mascot would you like to see? 57.9% of people wanted a warrior, 33.5% of people would like a gladiator warrior, and 8.6 people had a different idea. And this is for the survey results of the community of Pataskala. 93.3% of people would like a mascot back, and then a few people did not want a mascot, and a few people maybe wanted a mascot. So these were Willie the Warrior and the very bottom. That was our old mascot. That is what we had in probably the 90s. And then we had a new idea, which that's the Gladiator Warrior. Another option would be to contact the Lenape tribe or Native American tribes that were in our area to see what would best honor them. Who was the Native American tribe in Pataskala? One of the tribes that was in Pataskala was the Lenape tribe, or better known as the Delaware tribe. After some research, the Lenape tribe was known for having great craftsmanship, spectacular hunting, and were skilled at gathering. We could honor the Lenape tribe with this mascot by bringing back a mascot that encompasses their values. We would be honoring this tribe and promoting school spirit. Is there any questions so far?
So far, you've done a fantastic job.
All right. Why I should be the next school mascot. If the school board would consider this request, I would like the opportunity to be selected as the next Watkins Warrior mascot because I am a positive and outgoing student. I love to be with people and I am a fun, energetic person. I feel like I could bring crowds joy and happiness. In conclusion, bringing back a school mascot would be a great part of our community sporting events. It would be a great honor for this to happen and for me to do it. My name is Asher Kellett, and I'm going to make Watkins sports great again. Go Warriors!
That was awesome.
Asher, thank you for that presentation. And we have another presentation.
Wait, I just want to
Yes.
say something. Asher, I was my high school's mascot. So if this happens for you, I am cheering you all the way to being the next mascot.
Hey Asher, you know what? We have one of our great Willie Warriors in the back row for this very presentation, so I'm sure you got some support back there.
Nice. We do have one more presentation for Warrior mascot presentation. Aaron Lynch.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
And you're fine. That won't project your voice. It's
Got
just
it.
for the people at home.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Aaron Lynch. I'd first like to commend Asher on his presentation. You did a fantastic job. Hard to follow for sure. Thank you for that. All right. So, funny enough, I had a similar idea at a similar time. A couple coworkers and I were talking about how there's no mascot at Watkins, and we decided what a great time to change that. So I talked to Casey, and she let me know that Asher was also trying to make this happen. So great minds think alike, and I think that it's a sign that this is a great time to bring back a mascot for us. And cool. All right, so the why portion of my presentation has been covered very well by Asher, but to strengthen community bonds between community members in our district, livening up our spirit at all sorts of different events, as well as involving students from across our buildings and district. Some history as well. So we did have Wally the Woolly Warrior, who was dismissed, and since then we have not seen a mascot. I think it's a great time to introduce a fresh, inclusive, new, fierce mascot. I like the gladiator idea as well that Asher had, but I have a new idea. I think it's cool that the board will have multiple options here. So my idea is the Warrior Warhawk. So a warhawk kind of gives a strong, fearless image, kind of similar to what our district is already representing, some bold integrity. Warhawks are also very focused, hardworking animals as well, and we can tie that to our academic excellence, athletic prowess, and striving for excellence and hard work in all our events. And we can use it to kind of make some new mottos for our district as well. So flying as one, soaring together. It would lend itself pretty well to some new phrasing for us. And also it is gold and black. A few more tidbits about it. It's to extend our warrior name, not to replace it. Think Stinger from the Columbus Blue Jackets, kind of a new way to represent our mascot in kind of a new, inclusive, timeless way. And in using a mascot that's an animal or more abstract, and we can make sure that all of our students can see themselves in our warrior pride. Potential look of our mascot, potential name, Wes the Warhawk. Nice kind of jockey kind of guy for our district to help cheer on our sporting events as well as our arts events, community events, academic events as well. And to kind of bring this down to our middle school level as well, we can even have a brother for Wes the Warrior Warhawk, Wyatt the Warrior Warhawk. Some potential logos we could be using as well, kind of similar to the circle we already have on the right, and kind of a wings out, kind of more fierce representation on the left there. Some specifics, the cost of this, a typical mascot costume is about $500, one that I showed earlier, from about $450 to about $600, so about there. Operation, I think we need about 3 or 4 students to really get this off the ground and make this happen. The way that I envision this happening, we could have our Warrior Warhawk all over the place, everywhere from football games to greeting at the fall musicals and plays, to our art presentations, to the cookie walk, everything from arts, academics, athletics, to community events as well. Additionally, we need some storage space in the high school to make this run smoothly too. And leadership. I would love to head up this project, making sure that it's student-run, student-owned, but I'd love to advise, because I was a mascot as well back in my day. At BGSU, I got to be Frida Falcon, and I really got to see the power of a mascot, the way that they can serve as a positive ambassador for our district, a positive representation everywhere they go. And in summation, I think that our community would really benefit from the return of a mascot. With $500 and a dream, I think we can make this happen, and there's potential to develop this over the summer and roll it out by the fall. Thank you so much. I would love to answer any questions.
No, I think both of you have certainly given us something to discuss and talk about and consider. And so now I think what this board needs is some time to reflect, and we would like copies of your presentations, please. If we could get that emailed to us, we would appreciate that, and that will give us a chance to kind of look through things some more. And we appreciate you for bringing it to the table tonight, and we look forward to future conversations. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. All right. So this is a huge week in this district. We got so much going on this week. I mean, from last week, prom, to now graduation this Saturday. But we also have some very important people to honor tonight as well. And these are the people that helped get our kids to the end point on Saturday. None of this is done in a vacuum. All of this is done because of you guys and the fact that you care for our students. No matter what you do, you make a difference every day. And the 6 individuals that we're going to honor tonight did just that. They made a difference every day to every one of our kids. And we are humbled and honored for their service, and we are certainly going to miss them. But we also just know they made a difference in this district. And you left your impression on everybody, and we thank you for that. And we're looking forward to honoring you guys right now. So, with that said, I will call the individual up, and then the person speaking on their behalf, if they'd like to come up, if both people could come up to the podium, that'd be great. After they speak, we have a card from the board for them, and then we'd like to do a picture as well, and families are invited for the picture as well. Okay. All right, then with that said, we are going to begin with Angie Kennedy. So. All right. So first off, Angie, thank you for your service. And speaking on her behalf is Tricia Whitmer and Carolyn McDowell. It doesn't matter who goes first.
Well, actually, we decided to make a video in true Crookersville fashion, but I just found out that I did a vertical, so,
That's
that
all
happens to get
right.
old. So please enjoy the video of all the wonderful things your staff has said about you.
Awesome. Aw.
Have a great retirement, Angie. We will miss you. Hey Angie, enjoy your well-deserved retirement. Best of luck with everything that comes with that exciting time of your life.
Give me one word that describes Angie.
Giving.
Tell me something about Mrs. Kennedy that you like.
She's nice.
Give me a word that describes Angie.
A word that describes Angie would probably be outgoing.
What are you going to miss most about Angie?
Well, for starters, I think the thing that we're most going to miss about Angie is her special talent for planning. She plans and coordinates our birthdays, baby showers, administration days, secretary day, cooks days, and we've been fretting about it all year, kind of joking around with her. And lo and behold, 2 weeks ago, Angie brought in a school year planning calendar. So, guess the torch has been passed to me. So, with that in mind, Angie Kennedy, thank you for everything you've done for us. We wish you best of luck for your retirement. We love you. We're going to miss you. And, well, let's just hope we get this right.
We have big shoes to fill, for sure, but I think we're also going to miss all of her commentary and her wittiness. It's never a dull moment with Angie, and that's what I'm going to miss the most, all of the laughs.
Congratulations, Angie, and enjoy those grandbabies at home. And, well, Jeff, don't know about you, buddy.
Tell me something about Mrs. Kennedy.
She's very nice.
Give me one word that describes Angie Kennedy.
Helpful.
Give me one word that describes Angie Kennedy.
Angie, fun.
I like that Mrs. Kennedy gave us extra recess.
I hope you have a great time during retirement. Enjoy those grandbabies.
Thank you for teaching me well, and you were a great teacher, and I'm going to miss you.
Give me one word to describe Angie Kennedy.
Goofy.
Congratulations, Angie. I'm so excited for you. I hope you have the best retirement ever.
Give me one word that describes Angie.
Funny.
Thank you, Miss Kennedy, for taking the time to teach me and letting me play outside, and I'll miss you.
Hi, Angie. I hope you have a great retirement, enjoying shopping on QVC and retirement.
Hi, Miss Kennedy. Thanks for being so much fun. I'm going to miss you.
Enjoy your retirement.
Tell me something that describes Angie.
She has a really great sense of humor.
Tell me about Mrs. Kennedy.
So, her favorite color is blue. Her favorite salty snack is Cheez-Its and pretzels. She really likes bamboo. And that's all I can think of.
Something that describes Angie.
She's always friendly.
Tell me something about Mrs. Kennedy.
Miss Kennedy is funny and sweet.
Good luck, Angie. We're going to miss you.
Hi, Angie. Happy retirement. We are so grateful for the years of service you have given Southwest Licking Schools, and I have really enjoyed working with you here at Curtisville Elementary. You go snuggle those grandbabies now.
Yes, Angie, have a great time. We have loved everything that you've done for us, for the students, and for the staff and their families. Have a great time in retirement.
Give me one word that describes Angie.
Loud.
Remember all of our fun times. Remember this golf cart moment at field day. So many more fun times. Thank you for making me feel a part of your team when I was a new teacher here.
Hey, Angie. I just wanted to say, enjoy your retirement, read all the books, do all the shopping, and have fun with your grandbabies. We will miss you.
Describe Angie Kennedy.
She's a fun-loving person. I hope she enjoys her retirement.
Thank you.
Enjoy retirement. Love those grandkids.
We love you, Mrs. Kennedy.
I am going to miss Angie's sense of humor. Thank you for keeping us in the know and keeping us up to date on all the special days we need to remember. And also thank you for not saving my life when I didn't actually get electrocuted.
Hey, Angie, we're going to miss you. I wish you all the luck in retirement, and I hope you enjoy your grandkids and keep in touch.
Great. All right. Wrong one. All right. Congratulations. Come on up. Come around here. Come on up. We'll go up front. I'll give you your card. Okay. No? Get up there. Absolutely. Thank you for your service to Southwest Licking Schools and enjoy your retirement. Thank you. Congratulations.
See, this is one of my races.
Next, we would like to honor Miss Deborah Wells, and speaking on her behalf is Dustin Collin.
So we didn't make a video, but I do have quite a few comments from some of your colleagues, at least the ones that were appropriate for a board meeting, okay? Debbie's been in the district 5 years, 4 of them at the high school, but she's been in education over 20 years, so she has put in a lot of time working with kids. Debbie's been a steady, compassionate force in our school, working closely with our special needs students with a heart full of patience and a mind full of wisdom. She has been more than a paraprofessional. She's been a champion, a teacher, a listener, and an advocate. Debbie is a woman of integrity, always reliable, always grounded in doing what's right. She offers encouragement with a quick smile, humor that lifts the day, and advice that sticks with you, whether it's comforting a student through a tough moment or challenging a colleague to see things differently. Debbie makes those around her better. Her students adore her. Her colleagues respect her. And all of us have learned from her about compassion, about perseverance, and about what it truly means to serve our students. Debbie, your presence has brightened our days and, excuse me, and enriched the lives of so many. There will be an absolute gap when you leave, a space that will not easily be filled. But your legacy will live on in the students that you've touched and in the hearts of all those who've had the privilege to work with you. Congratulations.
Debbie, congratulations. Thank you for your service to Southwest Licking. We appreciate it. There you are. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, next I'd like to congratulate Jeff Hammond. And speaking on his behalf is Gary Goodchild.
I was going to say that. Yes, I'm Gary Goodchild, formerly Mr. Goodchild, an employee, ex-employee of Southwest Licking Schools, and I'm really honored to be here. It's a blessing to be here and to be a part of this retirement of not just Jeff, but the other people here as well. We've put together a video as well, and it won't be as many characters in this video, just me. So I'm sorry, I thought.
Hi, Jeff.
Wait, not yet.
Full screen and not play. My apologies.
Stop that guy. Anyway, put together a video, and so right after that, I'm going to say a few words, and then I'll be done. But the video is going to say most of it, so we'll sit down. Hey, and everybody out there in the lobby, it's Mr. Goodchild here, and I'm sitting up on top of the rooftop here
bird watching. A lot of you might wonder whatever happens to those teachers that don't come back and substitute, which there are a lot of them. But the ones that don't, this is what they do. They bird watch. So anyway, Jeff, pretty soon, he'll be doing the same thing Mr. Hammond will be, because he's an administrator, you know, he'll be bird watching. He'll be up on top of the roofs, but he'll be in places like Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Akron, Ohio, places a little more upscale. Right? So, but anyway, this is what we do. I wanted to say congratulations and on a great career. You've spent your whole teaching life, your adult life in the teaching world. You were a teacher, a coach, an administrator, a liaison, which you told me what that was. You did that for about a year or so, and I never understood. I know you explained it to me. I never understood what that was that you did. But anyway, most of the time you were those other things, and you did a great job. So I think that's great, and I'm really happy for you. I got to pull up my cheat sheets here because, you know, this was low budget filming here, and I didn't have time to plan the whole thing. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you started out your career as a teacher. Of course, I didn't know you then. You were started out teaching preschool and kindergartners how to do math.
No, he taught math at the junior high level.
Right. Taught math at the junior high level, secondary level. That's right. And then, of course, you did that for 25 years.
Nope, 22.
22 years. And then you moved on to the management, you know, assistant principal job. Of course, I never knew you in that whole time. I never knew you at all. I never experienced you as something else. So anyway, well, now this next part, I have to go to my notes here. Oh, God, boys. And I'm going to read this verbatim pretty much because if I did this in person, I know that I would probably start crying. That wouldn't be good for anybody to see an old man crying. So, you know, you'd have to carry me off the stage. It would be terrible. So, anyway, here we go. I had been teaching 12 years at Southwest Licking Schools before I ever saw Jeff Hammond. He was coming out of an interview for an assistant principal position, and I was about to go in to do the same thing. I didn't ever talk to him. Somebody said, well, that's Jeff Hammond. Ooh. Yeah. So, unfortunately for me, I didn't get the job and he did. And I wondered months later, like, what skill set does this guy have that I don't have? Well, moving ahead 2 years later, I had coincidentally transferred to Kirkersville Elementary to teach physical education, which I did for 10 years at Etna Elementary. And guess what? Guess who was the assistant principal at Kirkersville Elementary? You guessed it. It was Mr. Jeff Hammond. Yeah. Alyssa Horseman was the principal. Now, I didn't know either one of these people, so for a while there was a period of adjustment for me because you don't feel sure of yourself so much when you're a new kid on the block. And I didn't know any of the staff either, so it was like kind of starting over. However, it did not take long for me to realize why he was selected as the assistant principal and not myself. His ability to relate to staff, parents, and students was uncanny. He was down to earth, firm but fair. He may not have always agreed with what you had to say, but he was always willing to listen to what you did have to say. He had a genuine level of empathy and care for people that I had never experienced prior to being at Kirkersville Elementary. There are some administrators, and we're not going to name names, that's not important, but there are some administrators that are like, they're up here, if you know what I'm talking about, and then the staff's down here. Well, yeah, and in fact, there's some administrators that are, to pull a muscle here, they're way up here, and the staff's even lower, and that's the one you're like looking up and you're like, But that was not the case with Jeff Hammond. You know where he was? Where his deal was? Jeff Hammond was right here. Jeff Hammond was right here. Or excuse me, staff was right here. Jeff Hammond is his level. So, and I hope that tells you something about him. He was not above everybody else. He didn't present himself that way. So, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be reading this from script. Okay. So, I really appreciated and respected his style of management. It never felt like I was working for him. Rather, I was working with him. If there were more supervisors like Jeff, and by the way, Miss Horseman was really good too. She wasn't, she was around here. Not as good, better. Anyway, if there were more supervisors like Jeff, I truly believe that teachers' unions would be obsolete. Since retiring 3 years ago, I have stayed in contact with Jeff. I am grateful to have worked with him for 7 years and as a personal friend for the last 3. Thank you and congratulations on your retirement. Okay, good. I made it through. I didn't cry. This works out better for me and you. All right, so let's change gears for just a minute. And here's something, words of wisdom, This is something I picked up a long time ago, and I always thought it's always stuck with me. And it makes me, when I get kind of not in a grind or, things aren't going so, I try to remember this. And that is, today is the first day of your last life.
No, it's the first day of the rest of your life.
Isn't that really saying the same thing?
No, not really.
Okay, today is the first day of the rest of your life. So what that means to me, hopefully it means this to you too, is, make every day count. And, you might go through a period when you retire like, oh, I'm a little depressed. I'm like for a while, like, what am I going to do? You can't bird watch and golf all the time. But, so yeah, make every day count. So there you go. Take it for what it's worth. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, so got time to wrap it up because I think this time limit is passed. So congratulations again. Happy for you, your family, and your wife Tarzan. That's what I said.
No, you said Tarzan.
I did not say Tarzan.
You did. Should we play the video back so you can see?
Okay, this is not working out. So I think we're just going to have to do this live. So cut the tape.
Okay. Once upon a time before COVID, there was a school-wide program called Positive Behavior Support. I'm not sure if it's still in there today or not. I've been gone for a few years. But at that time, links were given out to individual students who were exhibiting positive behavior or good behavior following school rules. Okay, and it was really, I thought it was a great program, probably the best that we had. Now the rule was that you could only hand out one of those links at a time to a student, and not more than one. So, for example, I was going to give one to Asher, but he left. Is there any other kids here? No? All right, we'll give one to Miss Johnson. Good eye contact. Congratulations. Good job. Keep it up. Anyway, that's how it worked, and I handed out a million of them. Tonight, though, because we are acknowledging a lifetime of good behavior, I'm going to bend the rule and present Mr. Hammond with an entire chain of links for a job well done. So, congratulations and best wishes. Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Thank you for your service. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Next, I would like to welcome Christy Stediger. And speaking on her behalf is Taylor Matthews.
Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Taylor Matthews, and I've been lucky enough to call Christy Stegner a coworker and my work mama for the past 5 years. It's been a real pleasure working alongside Christy. I've always appreciated her and all her hard work she has done to keep our kids safe on the bus each and every day to take them home. Her smiles lighten the kids' faces every morning as they step foot on our bus. But one thing for sure, she loved each and every one of those kids. I will never forget all the memories she and I shared at work. The past Christmas, Christy and I dressed up as the elves on the shelves together on the last day of school before winter break. That was the highlight to the kids' day. I couldn't wait to see her at work the next day. She is more than a coworker, she is my work mama. There has never been a dull moment we didn't have together. We always called ourselves Queen and the passenger princess. We've laughed, we worked hard, and definitely learned a lot from each other. Beyond being a fantastic coworker, Christy had become a value friend, and I'm so grateful for the memories we made over the past years. Christy has been with Southwest Licking Bus Garage for 4.5 years. I'll miss our daily chats every day and the way you always knew how to make me laugh, even on the toughest days. Thank you for being the best teammate I could ever wanted. Your wisdom and humor had made this workplace brighter every day. This isn't goodbye forever because you can't get rid of your work daughter. I guess you could say the best part of being retired is you never having to request time off. But you deserve an amazing retirement after all these years. I'll miss you very much and all the guidance and support that you gave me. As a bus driver, you have touched so many lives with your kindness and laughter you brought to work every day. I wish you nothing but the best as you embark this new and exciting chapter in your life.
Christy, come join me. congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your service to our district. Appreciate it. Here's for you. We're going to get a picture. And anyone that you'd like in the picture, invite them up. All right. Hi, Nick.
Rose between stools.
I think it's the other way around. Go on up. No, you're fine. All right. I would now like to welcome up Shelley Gardner. Speaking on her behalf is Jenny Johnson.
Thank God you don't have a video.
I probably should have made one. Okay, it is my privilege that I get to talk about an amazing teacher and friend that I've worked with for 23 years, and my classroom neighbor for 12 of them. I'm already crying. Jesus. Most people come to first grade and turn around and walk out and ask, how do you do that all day? But Shelley spent all 33 years working with first graders. If you've ever spent a day with 6- and 7-year-olds, you know how hard of a feat that it really is, and that retirement has truly been earned. Of course, we all know some days are harder than others. Days when kids are crying, crawling under the easels, running around throwing things. But there's always something that makes you smile throughout the day. That one lesson you thought of on the fly is the best lesson you've taught all week. Might have happened today. Sorry. I lost my spot. The one kid who always makes you laugh, even when you have to sit down and put your head down so they don't know you're laughing at them. But that's what you talk about at the end of the day. Although teaching first grade is hard, I'm not so sure it's as hard as lunch duty with kindergartners in the first month of school, or wintertime with kindergartners who don't know how to zip their jackets. Yep, but we did that at Kirkersville for quite a few years. Talk about some difficult times, especially when the kids wanted the mustard packets open, and either Shelley or I touched mustard. They always had to wait on the custodian, Brad, to come around and help. Now, if you really want to try your patience, you can join us at South Fork next year for kindergarten lunch duty. I'm sure KDP would appreciate it. The best times were standing side by side watching the playground, chatting about what was going on that day, what the kids were doing, about our life, watching kids roll in the dirt, breaking up fights, and all of a sudden, cockroach! And we had to scatter because KDP entered the playground. She always ruins all the fun. You know, all business at Pat. Over the years, the kids have changed, grown up, and are always excited to come back and see their first grade teacher. Shelley has left a mark on over 660 kids over the years. She has read thousands of books aloud, taught kids how to read, how to write stories, how to add, how to subtract, and always made it fun for all of those kids so much that they always come back and see her. She always welcomes them with open arms, which shows how truly great of a teacher she is. I might have read a note one day from a fellow educator that said Shelley reminded her of her first grade teacher, and she was one of her favorites ever. So you could only imagine how many kids looked back at Shelley and say, that was my favorite teacher ever. There were times we thought this was it. It's a thankless job. And there were times we didn't feel appreciated. Remember that one great teacher appreciation week when we got that huge bouquet of flowers? Yeah, we didn't get a single flower between the two of us. Yep, we felt a little underappreciated that time. Danielle has the picture if anybody wants to see it. Laughed until we cried, but believe me, Shelley, you have been appreciated over the years by all, especially me. We've spent many hours decompressing before leaving or phone calls on the way home, hours gossiping about all the latest happenings, thinking how is this ever going to work? Now I can call you on my way home, listen to all the relaxing things you filled your day with, and I will try to keep my griping to a minimum. I hope you know that you will be missed not only by the kids, but by us too. We'll miss you sitting at the lunch table, giggling, waiting on Lori's quick comebacks, crying because we're laughing so hard. Okay, me crying, you just maybe snorting once or twice. Having to shut the door because we're too loud or maybe just too inappropriate. However, as you enter your retirement era, you can bring us lunch. I hope you're thinking about us when you're sipping your morning tea in the sun, and I guess bird watching too. Cuddling your pups, and wishing you lots of happy fun times, because girl, it's officially me time. Congratulations. And I did it.
Sorry. Don't apologize. Thank you for your service to our district. Anyone who'd like to come up for a picture? Hop on up. Do you guys want to teach a picture too? I want to share. Everything. All right, let's go. Tonight, I'd like to welcome and congratulate Amy Dennison. And Amy, come on up. And speaking on her behalf will be Dean Bolmer, Peg Engelhard, sorry. Katie Piaquadio, and Mackenzie Adams.
Oh, no, wait a second. Hold on. Why 4? That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous.
Yeah, the fourth one was a surprise. I didn't know
All right,
about
so
that.
whoever would like to start, please do.
I get Amy the early years, so that's why I'm here. I'm Peg Engelhart, and I taught at Watkins from 80 to 94. And I've known Amy since she was in 8th grade. It was my first year teaching. I didn't have her in class, but I did have the opportunity to coach her in softball her sophomore and junior year. And to say that Amy is an outstanding and competitive athlete is an understatement. These are not things she learned from me. I was just glad if the girls were having a good time and having fun. And we didn't have a very good record. And one of our last seasons, I was giving a little pep talk halfway through the inning, and Amy emphatically announced, in no uncertain terms, and I'm not giving it verbatim, but she said, "I'm tired of losing," and she scared me and the other girls, and we came back and won the game. So she taught me a little bit about coaching. So thanks, Amy, for that. So, and really, we just. And she used an expletive in there too. Athletically, Amy was better known on the basketball court. One time, and I had to check this with her, she had the highest percentage of any male or female percentage free throw shooting. And I said, was it the district or the LCL? Just when we got it was the state. So she was good. She was good. It was fun to watch. Amy graduated from Watkins Memorial High School in 1985 and went on to the Ohio State University.
Well, back then it might have just been
In Ohio State, yeah. And if you've ever watched a Buckeye game with her, the competitive side comes out. And she got her degree in education. And she came to work at Watkins Middle School in 1990 to teach 6th grade language arts. I always admired, like Aim and Dean, who came back to their hometown to teach. I think that really shares something when you have that lifelong history of your school. I was a teacher mentor for our building, for Amy, Dean, Hambone. Do you remember that, Jeff? So I taught you. I had some of these back here. But I got to work with and talk with Amy on a one-on-one basis for her whole first year, and she was a natural teacher. She was firm, fun, and fair. And as a colleague, we could always turn to Amy, and she'd be there for everything, chaperoning dances, working the concession stand, doing anything you needed. And she also coached. She coached middle school volleyball and track, and then ended up being the varsity coach for Watkins Memorial High School. Personally, that was something entertaining to watch too. If you get some films, go back and watch those. Personally, I'm proud and lucky to have Amy as a friend, and if you ever have the opportunity to travel with her, do it. You'll never laugh harder in your life. And now Dean's going to talk a little bit about that, because he was there on this too.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Bulmer, and I had the pleasure of working with Amy for over 30 years, and I'm very grateful to be here tonight to help her celebrate her retirement. Like Peg said, back in 1990, Mr. Gardner, the original middle school principal, hired her to teach 6th grade, and the district has been better ever since then. It's just amazing what Amy brought to this district, and I can't go through all of the qualities that she has, but one of the qualities I always admired was she was able to know students better than anyone else I've seen. And it was more than just what do they like, what do they don't like, what are they good at. She could get to the heart of what truly made them tick. Instinctively, she could see through the front that they would throw up or the barriers that they would throw up. She could see through all that, and she would know kids at a true level. And she was able to meet them at that level, and it was just something to watch, to see her connect with kids on that level. Another quality I've always admired, I don't quite understand it, but I've always admired, she knows everyone. She knows everyone. I am convinced she has the entire Southwest Licking community family tree printed in her brain, and she can pull that out at will. And when she would talk to a student about, hey, this is how your mom was when I had her in class, and I knew your grandparents when they lived over there, but now they live over here. And it was amazing because kids they knew that. They knew that that was a true connection, and it was just one more way that she was able to connect with kids in a true level. We heard Peg talk about traveling with Amy. That's an adventure. I'm going to tell you, she attracts adventure like metal to a magnet. And travel, it's a great time in retirement to do some traveling, so I hope you continue to travel. I also think Amy ought to write a book about her travels. I think, Amy, one chapter needs to be how you stared down that ferocious windstorm in Cody, Wyoming, and it was only her calm demeanor that got all of her friends through that. Another chapter would have to be just the epic battle with that raging rip current in the Caribbean. That was something to behold, I'll tell you. And then we absolutely don't want to miss out on the full description of just an exhilarating whale watching trip off the coast of Boston. If you don't want to wait for the book to come out, you got about a week and a half. Get the full account.
Can I do a demonstration of Amy whale watching?
The waves were so comfortable. It was a good trip. I'll close with just one memory. It was a few years ago. It was after an in-service presentation, and Amy and some of us were having a conversation with a gentleman who presented the in-service. And I heard Amy make the comment, I just want to leave the district better than when I first started. And you did. That's exactly what you did. We all know that in organizations, the veterans kind of shuffle out and go on to their next chapter, and new people shuffle in, and we'll have job postings and positions will be filled. But Amy will never be replaced, ever. She is truly one of a kind, and I hope you're proud of the legacy that you left here. So, thank you.
She's been here so long, she gets it then and now.
Oh, no.
It's real short. It's not as good as Dean's, but it's hard not to like Amy D. She's fun, very loud, witty, and just a great person. Amy D is someone you want to be around. She wants people to succeed. She gives honest feedback, even if it's hard to hear, and she has the ability to connect with everyone she meets. Since starting my position at Pataskala, I have relied heavy on Amy's knowledge of all things literacy. She's done an immense amount of research and work to push elementary teachers and administrators to embrace the science of reading, including playing a critical role in adopting our current phonics curriculum. Amy is not a behind-the-scenes leader. She is always in our buildings and classrooms, meets regularly with teachers and admins to answer countless questions, and something that I think speaks volumes about her commitment to literacy, she still teaches. You can find her modeling 95% lessons for new teachers or teaching in other classrooms just so she has a full picture of instruction and how she can best help teachers and students. And it's easy to tell when Amy's in the building to teach. She always has a pocket full of Skittles ready to go. And you wouldn't believe how hard kids work for just a Skittle. Amy D and I chat often about all kinds of different things. Some of my favorite things to hear are stories about Amy D growing up. She had a pony named Pepper and a cat. I don't know why it's so funny.
Oh, stop
it. She had a pony named Pepper and a cat named Snowball. Unfortunately, Snowball had a fatal encounter with the garage door. Now, while that seems like a sad story, if you've ever heard her tell the story, you know they always end up being some kind of funny. She has a way of saying things that just make people laugh. Speaking of the way she says things, I wrote down a few words and phrases that Amy D says on repeat. I'm going to try to say them like you. I don't know if I can now. Girl tired. Girl old. Boop. I'm all cranked up today. Me no likey. And you have to say one like this, old-timey. If you hear any of those, you know she is nearby. I feel so fortunate to have had the opportunity to not only call you a colleague, but more importantly, a friend. And I'd like to end by saying this. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement, kitty cat. Me out.
I was asked to coach or talk about our coaching experience a little bit. Just something about Amy is I was new to the area. I've known her for about 15 years, and she just creates such a welcome atmosphere. I immediately had warrior friends. I didn't work here, just lived here, had little kids. You make everyone feel welcome and part of the group, and I'm just so blessed that I encountered you in my first go here at Watkins. She also tells an epic huddle story to 7th and 8th grade girls. They all listened to you intently, and it always ended with, "You stink, launder your knee pads."
This is true.
This is true. This is true. Kids would migrate towards the front of the bus to sit behind us just to talk to you, and you'd say, "Get back." Why? Why?
This is true, too.
This is true, too. But just listening to everybody tonight, you were able to, culminate that wherever you were with whoever you came in contact with. And I'm just so grateful to have gotten 15 years with you, as is everyone here in this room. So thank you.
All right. I just want to point out that my mom's here. See, Mom, people do like me. I just found this fan.
Go try to.
Congratulations, thank you.
Hopefully it cools off.
I think it's all the way down. Everybody's hot. It's all, yeah, it ain't going lower. Sorry.
All right, we are going to move on to the business of the board now as well. Congratulations to all the retirees. Thank you very much, and you're welcome to stay. We've got a lot of fun in store, but you're welcome to go as well. Thank you, guys.
They're going to probably.
Yeah.
Never mind.
They need to go outside to cool off.
I know, cool they got. It felt good in here when I first got here.
Yeah, I think so. The temperature went sky high this afternoon.
All right. So, with that said, we're going to move on. Request to speak, Teamsters Local 413. Seeing no one, we'll move on to Southwest Licking Education Association. Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on. We need approval of minutes.
Motion to approve both 4A and B. Second?
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We'll move on to the financial report. Someone like to motion?
Approval. Second?
Mr. Jones, any
including,
discussion there?
Yeah, executive summary for April. Really, one thing to mention is we did get our third and final income tax settlement. It did come in about $207,000 lower than we anticipated. Majority of that was really estimated payments. They were down like $230,000, so that's kind of hard. But the good thing is we were still up 7.68% over last year. So we anticipated like a 9.9% increase, but it still came in like 7.68. So that's still an increase. So it's still good, but just not as high as we anticipated. So there's really nothing else to note. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
I think we're good. It looked fairly routine. I like that we, the numbers are where they are. Expenditures are down 4%. So, all right. Anyone? Mr. Jones, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes. That's been approved. We'll move on to the personnel consent calendar.
Motion to approve 6A through M. Second?
Okay. Mr. Tancheski, do you have anything to add?
I mean, in addition to the reassignments, retirements, and renewals, I mean, one thing we did make, one change we made is Mrs. Adelman will be leaving us. She has taken a position at Bloom Carroll as an elementary principal. So in order to achieve some of the ends and kind of we made some changes. Mrs. Caudle will become the student services coordinator. She will be leaving at elementary. And Mr. Smith, the assistant principal, will become the new principal. And Jody Reichert will assume the administrative duties at the ELC.
Okay.
And pending board approval of the personnel consent, then we will post the assistant principal position at Etna.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that's approved. We'll move on to personnel under number 7.
Motion to approve 7A and B. Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Jones, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, that's approved. We'll move on to business items.
Motion 8A through D. Second.
Okay. Go through these. It looks like the Pataska Public Library, Ashley Powell, is going to be replacement for Jamie Gowdy. So congratulations, Ashley. Now we have some policies for the first reading. Would someone like to discuss?
Do you have any specific questions about
anything?
anything?
Policy.
It was basically just a law change.
Yeah.
To match what's in law.
Yeah, I read through all of them and I didn't really have any concerns or anything.
And it kind of goes along with D, where a lot of changing from High Department of Education to High Department of Education and Workforce.
Right.
Or school SBOE to State School Board, and so a lot of just changes.
Okay.
And C is a resolution, as hopefully you know, is basically, right now the House has passed an amendment that would, part of the state budget, that would restrict our carryover to 30%. So basically, for us, that's approximately $30.1 million that we could potentially lose. So basically, a lot of schools and are trying to be proactive and trying to move that money to a capital projects fund. So the purpose of this resolution is to move that $30 million that we would lose into a capital projects fund for the project identified. And as for some reason it doesn't come through the state budget, the board could always move it back. If it stays in the state budget, then we would use this money for the projects identified in the resolution. Other than specific questions you have about it, it's a mechanism to thwart what the House of Representatives are trying to do to public schools.
All right. I understand it. The governor came out with his, and then the House put this in there, and hopefully the Senate will figure something out, and then when it goes to conference, hopefully that will go away, because it really punishes school districts who have been fiscally responsible.
Yep.
And I would encourage anyone watching at home or here in the audience to reach out to your senator and let them know that, because this does impact kids. And
significant impact.
Leave it with that.
Howard Fleeter did analysis, and basically this goes through. It could be based on a 5-year forecast in October. 279 schools can move towards fiscal emergency or fiscal watch.
Yeah.
By 2029, because of losing all this revenue.
Yep.
So it's just there's no good reason for it other than to punish school districts, public school districts.
Okay. And then D.
We talked about that's a resolution basically to change ODE to ODU and SBOE to state board.
Correct.
That's what pretty much all that is. Just cleanup work.
Very good. Any other questions or comments from the board? Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes. Those have been approved. We'll move on to agreements. I think we could maybe take all of them together.
Yeah. Motion to approve 9A through E.
Second.
Bless you.
Just try not to sneeze in my mic.
So the first one is, Melissa, you want to talk about that one, please?
The first agreement, we have the opportunity to join the EdTech Leaders Alliance, which is an organization that is going to provide us with legal support in gathering signed data privacy agreements to be in compliance with Senate Bill 29. We are required to, by August 1st, publish for families a list of the platforms and other technological services that we are using and that are using our students' data, and this will help us be in compliance there.
Yep, I know that's a huge thing for all districts in the state right now, and it just came upon real quickly, so thank you. B, empower behavioral health and intervention summer school.
B and C are just for extended summer services for a couple of students, and then D is an outside placement for next year.
Okay.
And then E is our annual lack of service level agreement. There was a slight increase, but again, it's providing the sort of services that we need. All of our payroll, accounting, student information the school district needs to have. So.
Yep. All right. Understand it all. Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Jones, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We'll move on to treasurer's items. We need a motion for donations and 5-year forecast.
Motion to approve 10A through C.
Second.
Okay.
Who wants it? You guys said it simultaneously. So.
Donations with thanks, of course.
Yes, donations with thanks. B is 5-year forecast. Really, there isn't a whole lot of changes. The changes are really related to our actual revenues for property taxes and our income tax. So some expenditure changes. Basically, we changed the Bridge Academy because we are hiring more staff, but it's actually reducing purchase services. So ideally, it's either it's a break even or hopefully make a little bit of money with the Bridge Academy once it's fully up and operational. There was, with the income tax coming in lower, I did reduce the estimate in the 5-year forecast down. So if you look at it basically by year, this fiscal year 29, which is the 5th year of the forecast, we are projecting about a $4 million deficit spending. With taking out just $30 million, that only leaves us about $12 million. So it's something and it falls below the 60 days that's in board policy for cash balance, and we will have to do something if that continues. One part of that is I still had the school foundation coming down. If basically the House bill stays the same, we'll get about $4 million more a year than what I forecasted. Because this year we're getting 19 million, then we have it dropping down to 15 million next 3 years. If they flatline it, then those would jump up to 19 million and we'd be in good shape.
Okay.
So
how challenging is it to create a 5-year forecast with the present political environment?
Yeah, this political, it's almost, it's unheard of, especially property taxes was a huge thing. Originally, I started changing the property taxes to say there's going to be some kind of limit on it, especially reevaluation and reappraisal time. I didn't do it because nothing's been passed by law. But I anticipate there will be some changes to property tax. It'll probably be lower than what I forecasted. And then on top of it, this measure to going out to eliminate all property taxes in this whole state, if that gets the signatures and approved, I don't know what school districts in the state would do.
Something passed this morning, didn't it?
Yeah,
they allowed them to get signatures to put the resolution on the ballot.
Yeah. So and the problem is that you probably think it'd pass, and then what do school districts do? That almost $30 million of is gone.
Well, it affects a lot of other.
A lot of other things like where's that money coming from?
You just have to tax something else.
Well, it's going to
the
tax.
issue. It doesn't. It sounds all shiny and exciting to not have property taxes, but you have to pay for public services.
Yeah.
Period. So, fine, they'll raise sales tax. They'll raise
fees for everything.
Your car license will be $1,500 instead of $65. I mean, that's just.
The problem is that's going to be unpredictable, and it becomes unpredictable.
Right.
It's going to hurt our bond ratings. All school districts get rated, and depending on that is how much interest you have to pay if you sell bonds, which could cost us more money. So there's a lot of bad things with that resolution. I understand the concept, but it doesn't make sense for public service, especially for public school districts who rely heavily on property taxes. So it is very challenging. I have no anticipation that the 5-year forecast would be accurate just because I don't know what state's going to do.
Right.
Well, and I did read and saw that in the House bill as well, they're looking at doing away with the 5-year forecast and changing it to a 3-year forecast.
Yeah. Which, to me, I'll be honest, the last 2 years is just a pure guess. I mean, what factors can help you project 5 years out and you have no idea. You just use historical, what's happened in the past, project it forward. So 3 or 5, just with a 3-year, things will be happening a lot faster. Yeah. So instead of us knowing in 2029 that we'll be $4 million in deficit, we'll see in 2027 that we're like positive or right, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yep.
We're $4 million in deficit, and we got to do something in 2 years.
Okay.
So that's going to make it a little harder if.
So now we just sit and watch the Senate and see what happens.
Yeah, you got the budget's going to have a huge impact on our on our 5-year forecast. And it's just not us; it's any school district in the state.
Yeah.
And we just don't know at this time what to expect.
Okay. Any other questions?
And the last thing is the amendment certificate. Really, it's to account for a $30 million transfer from the general fund to capital projects.
Okay.
Is there a limit on the time? What's the timing on that? If So if the money goes the way it goes, we have the money in that capital improvement account. Do we have a time frame on when that has to be spent by?
10 years.
Okay, all right.
10 years. So it has to be spent. And obviously, if we had to spend it, we would start
be
doing
it anyhow,
we'd be doing this stuff
absolutely.
anyway.
I just didn't know if it was like a,
No, we have 10 years, and the board at any time there are 10 years can transfer it back to the general fund if they want to.
Okay.
So, but set by a simple resolution is my understanding. So,
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We'll move on to superintendent items. Mr. Tancheski.
I made a video while we were sitting here. No, I didn't. A couple of things. One, let's spotlight, we had a student spotlight, Caitlin Wanderschleben. She was a senior. She graduated from Columbus State Community College on the 9th of May with not only did she earn her associate's degree, she was also a graduate of the honors program, and she plans to attend the Georgia Institute of Technology in the fall. So we want to congratulate her. Our middle school had the opportunity last Friday to participate in the Student Chef Showcase. They were one of 5 teams selected in the state to go to Columbus State, and it was through the Department of Agriculture, and basically create a dish. They were given 2 hours, and they were given the time to create a dish. Theirs was loaded fries. They didn't win, but they were the only middle school team to participate. And they got a lot of outstanding feedback, and it just kind of is a testament to our middle school ag program and to our kind of what we're trying to do at the high school as well. So we want to congratulate them. Again, Mr. Vincent alluded to the fact that May is full of honors and events. I mean, we've been a lot of places, we've seen a lot of things. There's a lot of great things happening throughout the district. I want to commend the community and the kids. I haven't seen any cars on grass, just so you guys know. No cars on grass. And with all the construction, everything is going very, very well. I was given this, there's 157 certified staff who are eligible for the attendance incentive. These people have missed 5 or fewer sick days this year, and 16 have perfect attendance. So that's great. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the fact that school's winding down. Next week we begin the move from Pataskala Elementary to South Fork. We'll get everything going. Right now I met with Mr. Janelle today, and everything's on schedule to start the move next week. Our maintenance staff, our maintenance crew is ready to get that going. They've been busy prepping for graduation. Everything is set up and ready to go. All the chairs have been laid down in case the storm kind of blows through over the next couple of nights, but we're ready for that. And we're also ready to begin renovating some of the rooms and everything else at Pataskala for the Bridge Academy. So that's all happening. I was just informed yesterday that our buildings for Safety Town are ready. We'll get some pictures. We're setting delivery dates and set up time for that, so that should be ready for the Safety Town camps. And last, we have graduation this Saturday, May 17th at 9 a.m. in the stadium, rain or shine. The graduating class of 2025 numbers 386. So that's it.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Is this our last one under 400?
No.
No.
No, okay.
I keep
They
a close
kinda-
watch.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're all up and down.
I don't know why, but people ask me all the time, how many are in this class and how many are in that class?
Yeah.
I could tell you the
Yeah, we're just
current
gonna be
juniors and the
Well,
current
that's why I
8th
was-
grade are the largest 2 classes.
Yeah, you're the junior class, right?
Junior and 8th grade.
That's all.
All right,
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Tancheski. All right. With that said, I think it's time to go. Someone motion adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, we are adjourned at 7:19.